Hi, hello there. My name is Kayla and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. As you can tell by the title of this video, today we are looking at the Kat Von D Shade and Light Glimmer palette. Right? Like, what year is it? Based on my look today, it is 2007. There's a new episode of Criss Angel Mind Freak on tonight. Tomorrow is Rock of Love. Never introduce myself. Things are good right now. This is definitely a pre-coronavirus look. So, how did I get this palette? Well, let me tell you, I have been doing some perusing on Sephora.com late at night in the wee hours of the morning when I cannot sleep. I go to Sephora.com and look at the sales section, and lately a whole bunch of new old Kat Von D stuff has been launching on Sephora.com. Like, for example, right now they have the Monarch eye and lip set available, which includes the Monarch eyeshadow palette and the Jeffree liquid lipstick that hasn't existed in years. Why is this on here? I believe it's because Sephora's like cleaning out their backstock rooms and is just finding all this old Kat Von D stuff and is trying to get rid of it. Because when I go on to KVD Vegan Beauty website, none of this is on here. It's only on Sephora.com. They also have the Metal Matte eyeshadow palette. What? This hasn't existed in like 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. It sold out so quickly. I could never get my hands on it. And it's retailing for $60, and the Monarch eye and lip set is retailing for $75. However, this Shade and Light Glimmer palette is on their website right now for $14.50. Originally retailing for $49. I really wanted this palette whenever it first came out, but I did not have the money for it at the time. Apparently this palette released in 2017. Why do I feel like it was released a lot sooner than that? Is it because of the color story in here? Possibly. But I really wanted it back in the day. I could not afford a $50 shimmer eyeshadow palette, but when I saw it was available on Sephora for $14, I bought it. I also bought one of the brushes, however it hasn't come in yet. It's not going to be here till like next week, so I had no patience and I just wanted to play with this palette. Since the release of this eyeshadow palette, many more palettes have come out since 2017, so we're gonna see if this palette has stood the test of time, if it's still good, if the quality is still up there. We're gonna find out. You know, maybe you have this palette, you haven't used it in a long time. Maybe it's time to dust it off, get it out of the drawer and play with it a little bit. I don't know. As most of y'all know, Kat Von D recently, not super recently, but earlier this year sold her stakes in her brand to Kendo and is no longer an owner of her brand. She basically has no creative control over anything anymore. She's no longer a part of the brand whatsoever. Why this is, I'll link some videos down below if you want to get into that, and that's just too much for me today. But she's no longer a part of the brand, so that's another reason why I purchased this. This palette does contain 12 glimmer, shimmer, sparkly shades, and like I said earlier, it originally retailed for $49. I would have never paid $49 for this, but the packaging on this, I gotta say, is absolutely beautiful. The unit carton that it comes in has Shade and Light on it with gold reflective writing. When you shift it, it turns blue and purple. It's just so pretty. On the back of the packaging, you have all these shade names written in the really cool, old-timey, I don't know how to describe it, Gothic font. And then you open it up and you have the palette wrapped in this sort of cardboard packaging, and then you take out the palette and here it is. It is absolutely beautiful. It comes in a plastic component and it has Shade and Light sort of popping out of it, like textured popping off of it. Y'all probably already know what this looks like. It's been out for 3 years. But then you have Kat Von D eye in a sort of shimmery silver font, and then on the back of the palette you have all these shade names. And then once you open it up, you have a really nice mirror in here. Like, this is like, if I ever go anywhere ever again, I'll probably bring this palette with me just because of the super nice mirror in here, and it like stands up by itself, which is super nice. And you have all of these super beautiful shades in here. It is a lot of cool toned brown colors with a couple of warm toned browns. Is this a trendy palette today? I would say not. All glitter eyeshadow looks are definitely looks of the past. No one really does them anymore. Number one reason probably being because glimmer and glitter eyeshadows tend to emphasize texture on your eyes and make you look a little bit older. But that ain't stopping me today. And before we get into this look, I will go ahead and do swatches of all these shades on my arm here for you. Here are all of the shades from the palette swatch. Alright, so I gotta say, the shadows in here swatched beautifully. They were so smooth, so creamy. They swatched like butter. They were probably some of, I hate saying this, but they were honestly some of the best shimmer shades I've swatched in quite a while. The Colourpop shimmer shades swatch very, very good as well. So the Colourpop shimmer shades I would definitely say are comparable to these shimmers, but this is definitely a very good formula, and I think that Kat nailed it with this formula, and it's really good. However, would I still pay 50 bucks for this? No. No ma'am. Nay nay. Alright, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this 2007 Daisy De La Hoya look. Alright, so as you can tell, I did already go ahead and do a full face of makeup so we can get right into the palette. I haven't done a solid glitter eye in years. Not glitter, but glimmer, whatever, shimmer. I haven't done like a shimmery eye in years with like no mattes. Like, when's the last time you've done that? Just solid shimmer. Years, right? So let's see, what am I gonna do? I guess I'm gonna do a cool toned brown look. That has been the flavor of the week. One thing I don't like already is that the shade names are on the back of the palette. I wish they were underneath the shades, but it's okay, I guess. So the first shade I'm gonna take is the shade Dusk, one of the bigger shades in here in the middle, this light cool tone brown color on a Laura Lee Los Angeles L18 brush. I'm gonna place this in my crease. Alright, so I did have to build that shade up a bit to get it here, and it is pretty shimmery towards the inner portion of my eye. We're gonna keep going. Okay, so that shade didn't really do a whole lot. So I'm gonna take this shade Copper. That can't be right. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this shade Copper, the very first one, on the same L18 brush and place it in the crease as well. This doesn't really look like a, well, I guess it kind of looks like a copper color. Okay, so that shade is on. The thing about like shimmer shades is that I feel like they do emphasize texture on your eyelids a lot, but these are layering nice on top of each other and they are blending out pretty well. And I'm just blending this shade out a bit with a Morphe M535 brush. And I do really like the big mirror in here. It's really, really nice. So now I'm going to take the shade Bronze, the shade right next to the copper color that I just used. It is so pretty. I haven't swatched any of these yet. I'm just like putting them on my eyes without knowing what's going on. But I'm going to take this shade on a Laura Lee Los Angeles L19 brush and just place this right towards the outer corner and bring it up a little bit into my crease. Okay, so this shade was a bit chunkier and I'm having some fallout with it, but this shade does have more glitter in it than the other shades I've tried so far, so that's probably why. Now I'm gonna take this shade Cinder on a Morphe M124 brush and place this right on the outer corner. And just lightly blending it out a bit. Now I'm going to take the black shade in here, Onyx, on the same Morphe M124 brush and place it just right on the outer corner. I am surprised with how well these are layering on top of each other and how easily they're blending out. And this black shade is surprisingly really pigmented. And now I'm just blending it out a bit with a L19 brush. Okay, so we have a cool toned smoky eye going on. Now I think I'm going to take the shade Sterling, this really pretty white sort of champagne-y color, on a Morphe M166 brush. I'm going to wet the brush first, and I'm going to place this all over the lid.
Oh wow.
Okay, so this is a very, very shimmery, sparkly white shade.
Yeah.
I'm kind of living for it. Now I just want to take a pinch of this other shimmery white shade, the shade Glacier, on a Luxie 243 brush and try placing this on the inner corner. Alright, so this white shade has more like blue tint to it than the other white shade.
Okay.
So now for the lower lash line, I'm going to take the shade Cinder on a Morphe M152 brush and try placing this all along the lower lash line. I did purchase the Kat Von D like Glimmer brush that was like dedicated for this palette. However, it hasn't showed up in the mail yet. It's not supposed to be here for like another week. I purchased these at the same time, but I don't know.
Okay.
Oh my god. Now I'm going to take some of the black shade Onyx just on a Morphe M508 brush and stamp it all along the lower lash line. Oh my god.
What is going on here?
If you came to this video looking for some sort of like trendy look, this ain't it. This hasn't been trendy in like 10 years. Oh my god. What's going on? Okay, so this is pretty much it for the eyeshadow portion. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeliner and eyelashes off camera, come back and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on this palette. Alright, so I went ahead and put on eyeliner, eyelashes, mascara, lipstick, and this wig because I felt like it was just necessary. Know what I mean? I gotta say the eyeliner and the eyelashes helped bring this look together. But let's just go ahead and get into this eyeshadow palette. It was beautiful. She was beautiful, really pretty. After using this eyeshadow palette once, it's kind of like destroyed and everywhere now. Do you see what I mean? The shimmers and the glitters are just everywhere now and it's a hot mess express. So that's definitely one thing I don't like about this palette. Was I able to form a cohesive look with this? Yes. Does it look like it's from 2007?
We still live together.
Yeah, it does. Am I going to use this palette alone again in the future? No, I'm probably going to use this palette with some of my matte shades just because glimmer and glitter shades all together, they really do emphasize texture on your eyes. Kind of just makes you look older.
So,
yeah. Do I like this palette? Do I like the shades in here? Do I think they worked very well? Do I think they were very pigmented? Yes, I do, and I really appreciate them for that. Did this palette fulfill my 2007 Rock of Love fantasy? Yes. Am I gonna use it alone in the future?
No.
Unless I want to do a Heather or Daisy De La Hoya look.
Don't roll your eyes at me.
For Halloween? Yeah. Maybe, I guess. Am I happy that I bought this? Yes, this did fulfill my 2017 fantasy of when I really wanted it, and I'm really happy I have it. I love the packaging on here. The shades worked very well, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful palette. I'm very happy I did not pay the $49 price tag for it. I don't think for $49 that this was worth it for that amount of money. Maybe like 30 bucks, yeah, but 50, no. Never would have paid that for an all shimmer glimmer palette. But I am happy I got my hands on it for 15. Alright you guys, so that is it for today's video. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. As usual, everything that I have on my face will be linked in the description box down below, as well as all of my social medias. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.